Hey everybody, welcome back to Tenza Builds. Today I want to do a video just focusing on how I fixed my fuel tank issue that I had on the M3 while I was pulling it out. If you're not aware, we're doing an M3 wagon, an S54 wagon, and I was moving all of the systems from the M3 over to the wagon. That whole build series is on my main channel. I'll have a link to that in the description and a card up here. Basically what ended up happening was I broke the vent hoses going into the top of the fuel tank as I dropped the M3. This isn't a super common problem, but I found essentially no fixes online. And to avoid spending anywhere between $200 for a used tank and $1,000 for a new one, I had to design a system and then fix it. It actually ended up being a stronger system. So I wanted to make a video just on that topic because I think it's important. When I looked for fixes of this, I couldn't find anything. There were very few posts about it. There weren't any videos on it. And the video I made, this is from my main channel, it was kind of buried in another video where we were doing a rear end swap as well, because these two projects happened at the same time, moving the fuel tank and the rear end over to the wagon at the same time. So here's the clips from that video. Hopefully this helps any of you that have found yourself in the same situation. All right, so this is uncharted territory for me for sure. In fact, I can't even find any videos on it. So here's the plastic nipple. That's what broke off. Now I've trimmed this down because I tried to expose this piece here. So I have a couple options here. I can put this in there halfway and then put a clamp here, and then I can put this on this side. And what this will allow me to do is it'll give me just a little bit of extra flexibility if I need it. If I don't need that, I can pull this out and then I can remove that blue insert. If I remove that blue insert, it automatically jumps up to the bigger size. I bought a whole bunch of parts because I didn't know what I am not going to use or what I need. So I bought a whole bunch, and then what I don't use, I'll take back. So this one fits this, which is the other side that I broke, the other nipple. And then this bigger one here actually fits this one if that blue piece is out. These are pretty long, so I'll probably have to cut one of the ribs off, and that way it'll cinch all the way up, and then I can hose clamp it to there. I bought a couple different designs. So you can see here the threads on this one are smaller around. If I need to, I can jump up to the bigger one. So the idea, because the back side of this, when you put your hand in there, is flat, what I was thinking about doing to keep this at a similar angle is drilling a hole into here and then threading this on with some epoxy glue, gasket maker, whatever I need to use. I'll have to look that up exactly what I'm going to use to fix this problem. This should take care of the fact that these like to break, because now they're brass, and hopefully how I put them on there will be a lot stronger. The biggest thing that I'm seeing here is that the angle that this is going to come out of, this one almost came out parallel to this surface here because it came out at a bit of an angle. It's kind of broken. It's broken right now, so you can't see that. But if I put this in there, it's going to come up at a different angle. So that's why I was saying if I need to add, a couple inches of this tubing here to give me that slack to bring the hose back down. And as long as there's, a little bit of clearance up here, I should be okay. So I've been looking at it, and if I take one set of ribs off, maybe two, and then I put this all the way in, it's only going to be that tall out of the top of this. That's the plan right now. I'm going to try inserting the smaller one and then jumping up to the bigger one if I need to. The other thing I bought was some of these adapters here. So if I need to take out that entire hole, I basically can. I can put a whole new piece in there, but this would need a lot of room. Obviously they're not tightened up all the way. I would have to screw them all into each other, but that's quite a bit bigger than this inch or so that we're going to need roughly. So, and then again, I can take a couple of these off. I think I can take off two without causing a big issue as long as I put the clamp right on those ribs. That's the plan. That's what I did. The other side looks the exact same. It's just a little bit smaller. So it's actually this size here, which is the smaller size. The insert, like this, that blue piece, the black one that's in this one is completely stuck in there. So I can't get that off. So I'm going to be cutting it here and then basically using this to create whatever size of hose I want. And this is just a 1/4 inch. Let's see here. I'll show it to you. So there's the name of the hose. It is a fuel hose. I don't know if it has to be a fuel hose because we're really just playing with vapors here, but this is what I had lying around the garage, and it just happened to be the correct size. So cross your fingers, wish me luck. I'll report back on what I found out as I go along fixing this. All right, everybody, this is what I ended up doing. So we drilled into there. This fit in there quite nicely. I ran it in and out a couple times, put some threads on it. Because you have this blue piece and a bit of the fuel tank, there was actually quite a bit of thread in there. And I think if you just ran it in there, you'd be okay. But what we did was use gasket maker as basically a thread locker. And so that'll hopefully seal all that off. And then I did add this to it so that we can go straight down, and that gives us as little footprint coming up this direction as possible, because before it basically went straight parallel to the tank. So let's go over this real quick so everybody knows exactly what you need. You need 2 of these. I'll have the size of this right here because I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm trying to get this video done because this project has taken a lot longer than what I wanted it to take. So you'll want 2 of these, 1 for each side on this side. And then right here, this piece, I cut about, in fact, I think you can see the scarring right there. You can see where I started to cut. So you'll want to cut about 1/4 inch off of this, and that exposes enough of this brass to be able to use as a male-to-male fitting. We'll put those hose clamps here, here, and 1 right there. I did cut this down. I took 2 ribs off of it, still 2 on here, and what that'll allow me to do is put 1 at the very bottom, and it keeps the hose from going too far up before it turns down. I really can't seem to tell how much space I've got in here, so I'm just trying to keep it low profile. So that's how this side goes on. Now here's the other side. The nipple broke off on this, and I had damaged the tubing. So that's why you see it in such a small piece here. What I'm gonna be doing is cutting this off. I would have tried to reuse this, but there's chunks of plastic in there and I just can't seem to get them out. So I'm gonna take this right here. I'm gonna put the hose on it. And then this side right here will have a clamp, and then it will go to this on the other side. So like that. And then on this side of it, because I do need this length here, I'll cut off another piece of this, probably 1 inch or so, and that's how I'll connect this back to the rest of the hoses. So hopefully you don't run into this issue here. This one here, that's all you need to do. So you can actually fix this with 2 of these fittings and a little bit of this hose. That's all you need. Well, and then a step-up drill bit and some probably gasket maker or something else, silicone, whatever you want to use. Make sure that's not actually leaking, that this is completely tight. So I'm happy that even though I broke this, that I'm actually putting it back together probably more sturdy than it was, and that this didn't end up costing me the entire tank. Sounds like, based on my rough math, that you're a couple bucks a piece for this. And then I can't remember how much this hose was. I thought because it's a fuel hose that it's a little bit more expensive, but you should probably be able to do this project for around 20 bucks or so. Thanks everybody so much for watching. I really hope that this helped you if you found yourself into the same predicament I did. If you enjoyed today's content, hit the like button, subscribe. If you are new, check out my main channel. Again, that will be linked in the description below. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I will try my best to reply and answer any questions that you may have. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.